I'm the client, I'm on my phone. Let's say I start looking for life insurance. I get flagged and then I apply and I say, hey, contact me. In the marketing realm, I'm now a targeted audience.
Yeah.
Because I'm a targeted audience and I reply, I get retargeted over and over. What?
Happy holidays.
Thank you.
Same to you all.
Let's kick this
Happy
off. Thanks for joining
holidays.
us for the Q&A. My name is John. This is Ellie, Elite Ellie. And you have here with Joanne.
Hi guys.
Hi guys. So just to start off, anything new from contracting, Joanne?
No, nothing is pretty much new. The only thing that's new, I think we talked about it the last time is obviously American Amicable just moved into NLC, right?
Nice.
So
you know what I noticed?
So it is there. What'd you notice?
John Hancock is out. I just helped an agent.
Is it on
It's
NLC?
not on Sure Elsie.
Oh, it's not on Sure Elsie? Who's the agent?
Yeah, it's new, the pepper.
Sometimes I'm having to sometimes the link isn't there, so I have to request it
Okay.
from corporate. Mhm.
I mean, I just thought they took it off completely.
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, is it on John Hancock?
Yeah, so I don't know. I was like,
NLC?
they
I
take
don't
it off?
know. Not
Okay.
yet.
It's a Hemley's
Yeah, I think the
agent.
next one that they're thinking of moving over is AIG.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
nothing's new. You guys in contracting, everything's pretty much the same.
Awesome. All right. So questions for us. Fire away.
Okay.
We're new. We saw the link that there is a Monday morning meeting, and so we clicked on it, and here we are.
Hi.
This meeting is actually a Q&A. It's a questions and answers for specifically new agents or anything. You guys can ask us anything from contracting to the field, to the phones, to leads, to anything. So specifically for you guys.
That's nice.
That's crazy.
Is
Yeah.
this you're Sylvie, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so yeah, I think she's a part of Antonio Lonnie's group.
Oh,
so she's in
nice.
your downline.
Okay, I'm Lonnie and Antonia's upline.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
congrats on your hire. I know you just hired somebody or you just have
That's
a new
it.
agent, right? She's there?
That's Sandy.
Ah,
Here.
oh, okay. Okay.
See, he.
Hi.
Hi, I'm a he.
Oh,
Hi.
I'm so sorry.
Wait, so let me check.
Horrible. We're done with this. I'm hanging it up now.
No. I just sent you your welcome email. There's no way.
So who hired who?
She hired.
So Sandy and then
Right.
Sylvie and then direct to Antonio.
I'm direct to Antonio.
So Sandy, your email is the Temple of Zen.
Correct.
Nice. I like that email.
What is it?
Temple of Zen.
Ooh, I really like that.
You're into Hinduism or Buddhism?
I consider myself more spiritual than religious.
Okay, I like that.
I like that.
Zen.
For sure. For
Yeah.
sure.
I listened to a little of those.
Well, I am a little curious about you all. So now I saw your email, Joan. I saw yours and it says that you're responsible for contracting.
Correct.
So Albert, I started watching a couple of videos of John Baccarat. I was like, wait a minute, is that Albert? Or is that John? And I was like, wait a minute.
we got
hold on.
Albert. Wait, you have to meet Albert. We'll bring Albert in here for you in a little bit so you can meet him.
Please,
Yes,
please.
you will. You will.
So I'm John.
Okay. So yeah. So it's
John
like,
or Joanne?
I'm Joanne.
This is Joanne. I'm John.
you're John.
I'm John
Wait.
Baccarat.
You're John Baccarat. Okay.
Yes.
So where's Albert? Because it's listed
Albert-
as Albert on the screen. On the
Albert was
on the
here.
participants, it shows you as Albert.
Oh, because we're using Albert's main elite dials.
Yeah, this is Albert. He's one of our.
How you doing?
He's a new agent.
Oh. Okay. Good.
That's Sandy. That's Sylvie. He's a new agent.
Sylvia and Sandy. Good to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you. Okay, that's Albert.
I'm
That's Albert.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's Albert. Okay. So I know I was watching your video today, then John, about the IULs, because I just wanted to see what kind of training are they saying that they're offering, because people talk about Well, you know, some companies, they offer hands-on training and, you know, you have it live or there with you. And then some companies, they have all these pre-recorded videos, but that's not the same thing as, you know, being right there. So I said, you know what, let me look at one of these links. I went to the page and said, who is John Background? I was like, who is that? So I went to look and I saw the video, and the first video popped up was teaching you about IULs, when to use them, why we use them. And I said, I never got that kind of training before. I don't even care that it was YouTube. I don't care if it was 4 years old, but just the fact that someone explained from being within the organization, hey, this is why we use it, and this is how. And it's like, I never had that before. I was like, I got to see who this guy is.
Oh shoot, I'm YouTube famous, Joe.
So
No,
what is
thank
your...
you. Thank you for sharing that, because that's the reason why we do all of this that we do. I mean, regardless if you know, we don't hear back that feedback, but that you're basically the reason why we do all this content, so that individuals like yourself can just hop on our website or hop on our social media and get familiar with the faces and familiar with the trainings that we have to offer you guys.
Yeah.
So thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, that's awesome. It makes us feel good, like we didn't just talk to a wall.
You
and
do
stuff.
that for nothing,
Right?
Someone's really looking at this stuff.
I met Antonio because I put a reel out about IULs for kids, and Antonio had sent a similar message, and I was like, hey, do you know who so-and-so? And he's like, oh no, I used to do this. And then he introduced me to the business, and then I found out, and then I was like, oh, this is so much better. And then that's when I told about this to Sandy, and it's now Sandy.
So you are a social media recruit by Antonio then?
Well, I mean, we were both doing social media, and then he
And then you guys.
shared, we were doing the same message, and so I just echoed his on mine. I'm like, see, other people are saying the same thing. This is hard
Awesome.
to do.
So both of them representing two different companies, two different organizations, and just having the conversation.
of course.
Sylvie saw the value in working with you all.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Welcome, welcome. So yeah, so how long have you guys both been in insurance in the industry?
9 days.
It's been just a couple of months. So I like keeping things very simple, and I like the transparency thing, because all that whole vagueness just kills me. So
Yeah.
I was working with PHP. That's
Got it.
who I'm still with right there. And then I told Sylvie about it, and Sylvie
Okay,
came
now
on board.
everything is sinking in now.
Mhm.
Mutual and okay, I got it. I know who you are.
You got it now?
I just saw
got
the
email
welcome
from-
emails today.
No. Yeah, no, Antonio sent out another email, I believe about his Mutual of Omaha back two days ago or something like
For a
that.
That
transfer.
was you he was talking about.
Yeah. So I
Yes.
handle all of that. Yeah. So I'll help you
Okay.
with yeah. So thank you for telling me who you were a part of. But yeah,
Yeah.
we'll go ahead and we'll help you out in getting contracted. I know that with that IMO in particular, and any other IMO, if you guys are coming from any other IMOs, for the most part, we're able to assist in transferring over your contracts. Sometimes, you know, there are delays in terms of like, depending on what carrier that's with. Most of the time, it's just going to be Aetna, American Amicable, Foresters that we have a little bit of delays. NLG can potentially also be one that may be delayed, or you may not even be able to get yet.
And
But other
that's
than that,
because
you
of-
should,
and
that's just because of
partly
your
because-
affiliation. Yeah, your prior
Gotcha.
affiliation.
Yeah, a little bit about
Okay.
NLG.
Other than that, for the most part, we're able to help you out getting contracted with all the carriers.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit about NLG because they're strong in other IMOs, but like other IMOs, which is independent marketing organizations, some agents do transfer from one to the other. And then they're big on PFA, PHP. And so when people switched out, they created a rule: you cannot switch within 6 months of production to another IMO. But your comp also doesn't change until 1 year later after you switch to the new IMO. Yeah.
They get you whichever way they can. Yeah.
So it kind of protects. Yeah, it's a little tricky. So we have a lot of other IULs that's available. We have other IULs similar with living benefits and all that. So we'll be able to help you out.
Okay. I mean, I never actually wrote any business with NLG.
Oh, then you shouldn't have an issue if you didn't write.
But I am
Were you
aware that
contract?
If you're contracted with the carrier, You didn't write any business. And if
Right. I
it's
was
been-
appointed with quite a few of them
Yeah,
already.
if you haven't written any business with them, then you shouldn't have any issues. But if you wrote business within the last 6 months, then
That's the
that's
issue.
the last date of the application that you wrote is the date that we start counting from.
So it is possible to still have some delay, even if you hadn't written any business with them, just because they are
because
one
you
of
were
the major
affiliated.
players with PHP.
Correct.
Yes. So
Okay.
once you've had an agent number already,
Right.
we can transfer you, but whatever comp you were at with that specific carrier with NLG, you'll stay there for 1 year, then you can change it over. So we have, in the meantime, while you're in, we'll use a different IMO and whatnot. I mean, not IMO, the carrier and whatnot.
Mutual of Omaha apparently is better long-term than
Yeah.
Iowa performance.
Yeah,
Then what?
with Mu, if you haven't written, did you write anything with them within the
Yeah.
last 6 months? He has.
Well, I have, but
Oh.
long-term Mutual of Omaha is better as far as IULs, long-term. When you can do a comparison side to
Yeah, you
side.
can do a lot. Yeah, so even better with us, aside from our help, we have a specific division with FFL. It's called FFL AMS, Advanced Market Sales. So
Right.
with them, you can go and create an ask an illustration, put in your client's information, and then they'll spit out some illustrations for you to figure out which carrier or which product to use. And then if you're not contracted with those carriers, they'll send you contracting, get you going as well.
And that's
That's-
a quick turnaround, right? Or
I'm sorry?
that's a quick turnaround.
Within 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah.
Contracting wise, no. The response, yes.
Yeah, well, that's really great.
Now,
And so,
Now-
go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was just wondering, I know that they're going to produce this stuff for us, but is there some part of the training where we go through where it's, hey, this is the company, this is some of the comparisons to some of the other, carriers that we work with, and this is why this situation with this carrier might be better for you. But let's walk you through the process of how to complete this, how to push out an illustration, and how to submit. Is that something that you all set up so that way we can do that stuff on our own without necessarily having to send the request to support?
So
course.
yeah, so there's actually, once you get contracted with the carriers, for example, FNG, NLG, once you have a back office login with your agent number, they have specific training materials in there. And most of the e-apps, it's all electronic applications. Once you do one, it's dummy proof. They're either going to use there's two platforms they use. It's called the IGO platform or Firelight platform.
Okay.
It's just a electronic application. You cannot move forward until you answer all the questions. So it's dummy proof. So you won't have an issue to it. The real hard part is you creating your own illustration, which we have trainings on. Or let's simplify it. The way we want to do it is we want you to just focus on getting in front of a client. We'll cover a lot of things for you, right? So that's what the FFL AMS will do. You do an ask a specialist, they'll spit out an illustration for you. But if you want to play around with it, yeah, of course we can help you out and tell you this company's a little bit better, this company's a little bit better. At the end of it all,
Yeah.
there's two things you want to look at when it comes down to IUL, from your side and from the client side. Client side, there's the turnaround time where there's carriers that allows the policy to be issued without a physical. So even though they're giving fully underwritten quotes, they can, for example, FNG, if you have someone 60 and under, most likely if it's under $1 million, they can issue it without a physical exam, without a paramed. NLG, why they're good, they can go up to 2 million without a paramed, right?
Wow,
So they'll
okay.
issue that policy, just double check with the medical records, go from there, and it's all good. But if it's coming down to the client's budget, price wise, death benefit, and all that, that's where the illustration comes in. So she was mentioning Sylvie, right?
Mhm.
Sylvie
Yes.
was saying,
No.
That's
Me?
Sandy. She was saying about Mutual of Omaha has a better death benefit than long
Yeah.
run. Yes and no. So you can create that illustration. Okay, you can set it. So
Represent that.
correct. So there's a way, like FNG, I'm creating an illustration right now where I can solve for a premium and have the cash value last till age 100. If there's enough cash value, that means the policy doesn't go under. You can create that. So any illustration you want to make, As long as you put in the right premiums, you can have the policy last. But in one of those trainings that you did probably see, we have one. If you guys want to look it up, it's on FFL Elite Shorts, or is it Elite
Clips.
Elite Clips.
Okay.
We just did a training on the IUL for it. There's two kinds that you can set up for the IUL, and certain companies have two products specifically. One is for cash accumulation. So this is more on the investment side. And then one's more of a death benefit portion. This is more about like lasting death benefit. Because if you try to get a client on a cash accumulation, you might just target to get a accumulation from the retirement from 65 to 80, 85. But they're going to take systematic withdrawals to that at 85 and 86. It might tap out. So it's not going to be, and it's not going to be permanent. You know what I mean? Or you could just set it to where you can have a minimum premium to a level where it's going to last till age 100. Does that make sense? So it really just depends on the client situation. My main suggestion, look at the client's age. Okay. An IUL is really good if they want to expand, they want to compound. So if they're in their 20s and 30s, from 30 to 65, you got 30, 35 years to compound it, right? But if you're looking for a client, you're doing an IUL between 50 to 65. Do they have years to compound?
Yeah.
Not really, right? They're not, no matter how much money they put in, you're not going to compound 10 years to 15 years max. So you will end up finding a client where they're healthy enough to qualify for the IUL. You're going to push more of a death benefit and living benefit to it. So we don't care too much about the cash value. You're pushing on to the client and selling that, hey, it's going to last you forever. And it's cheaper than the term, or it's cheaper in the term in the long run. And it's cheaper than the whole life if you were to compare it to a whole life. So that's the situation you'll run across.
Into.
Does that make sense?
I'm a little confused. I'm sorry. I'll wait for your response, so Sylvie.
Well, it makes sense, because if you're less than, if you're greater than 50, you don't have that time for it to compound, like you said. But when it's, I didn't physically see the comparison, because I just got my agent number with Mutual of Omaha.
Nice.
From what I was told, that long range, it's better. So like, I'm a big advocate for setting IULs for kids, and because that's, long term, it's so much better
Yes.
for them. And that's what I really push for new parents and moms, and it's so. And then you find out, push comes to shove, the parent doesn't have insurance, and then they're writing insurance too. So that's
There you go.
Yeah.
and then you have another opportunity to save more in the family.
Yeah. So what's really great about IUL for kids, now instead of a 20, 30, you're getting 30, 35 years of compounding. You're starting from 1 to 5.
Yeah.
They got 40, 50 years. The only thing that you don't want to try to say too much and push too much, that is not really the best college education funding with an IUL, because it's only 15, 20 years to compound. So I learned this from FFL AMS from Sean Ruggiero. The IUL's purpose would be more of like a retirement for the kids, a down payment on a house for a kid, because now that's 35 years in versus 15, 20 years, depending on how old the kid that you started.
For school. Makes sense.
Yeah, but it's great.
But if you go in aggressively with a kid, like a parent I know is 500. By the time the kid is 20, 21, they're gonna have like close to 300,000.
Yeah. So now that's
aggressive. University is 78,000 a year.
Right. Yeah. So it's even better, because with the IUL, it doesn't count towards your financial aid.
Yeah, it doesn't count against the FAFSA application.
Exactly.
And when we say it doesn't count towards the FAFSA application, does that mean you don't even have to disclose that when filling out FAFSA?
Correct.
Yeah, you don't.
If you would have started a 429B, right, you'd have to disclose that.
Oh, 529?
529, there you go, not 429.
Oh.
Yeah, you have to disclose that, and it counts towards their college education and tuition and FAFSA and all that.
What's the 529?
So that's the college savings account. Those are the government ones.
Way. Yeah. And you can only use it for educational expenses.
Right.
And now, 2 years ago or 3 years ago, they just released they opened the aperture for to use that funds for private school, not even in college. So your kid is in private school now at 5 years old, you can tap into that money.
Nice. Or if your kids don't go, then you can use it on your own or something else, or the great grandkids, or you could pass
But it
it down.
has to be used towards an educational expense.
Yes, yes. So that's
One-
the issue with that.
Yeah, and then unlike an IUL, you could use it for
Any-
if they don't go to school and they want to buy a car or a down payment on a house.
So those are great. Like commission wise, it'll pay typically. The only thing with IOLs, typically it depends on the carrier on how much the target premium will be, not the premium payment of a month of what the client's paying.
Yeah, I noticed that. So there, Mutual of Omaha has a youth IUL.
They have 3 IOLs.
Yeah, one
They have
was
3.
specifically for kids.
I'm thinking IOL Answers or the
Or
Income
maybe-
Advantage. There's
maybe
3. There's Income Advantage, Answers, and IOL Express.
And
You
there's
talk to
an ad.
Antonio.
Okay. Yeah, there
He
was
does
a
a lot of these.
commercial, and I was like, "That's not even a lot." I think at the end of it, you get like 40,000 or something. Well, 20,000. I'm like, I did it for my kids, and it's a lot more.
Yeah. No, it's probably underfunded then.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
you guys are in a good situation. Let's get you contracting. Look, so now, you're for example, Sandy, you're new into the industry. Let me just expand on like how we create our clientele and how the IMO and the industry works. 3 main things you want to have that you're going to be successful in this business. You got to master your lead acquisition, your client acquisition. Okay. So you're either buying leads or you're creating your own leads. Okay. So if you know how to do reels and you're captivating clients that way, those are free clients, and you expand on that with referrals, and you keep growing that way, right?
Okay.
Look into your network, your markets, your groups, social setting, from church group to whatever. You will run into clients, and most of the time, people have kids, people have jobs, they don't have insurance. These are the clientele. What's great about FFL, we have vendors. Okay. So instead of marketing on your own, you could be part of a vendor. You can market and work with either one. What they do is they're great at marketing online, cold market. Okay. They do advertisements, but they got to get their cut. So we pay them to provide us leads to talk to people that talks about life insurance. So that's the
Right,
number
but-
one thing.
But you're
Yeah.
paying for leads based on the quality of the level of those leads, though, right?
Correct. So that's why we have multiple vendors. It allows the agents to play how they want to play, right? We don't force anything on you. You can choose to buy leads. You choose not to buy leads. We just believe that as long as you have a constant flow of clients that you talk to about life insurance, you'll be successful. But if you don't, you're limited to however many you can gather at that one point. Okay. So second part, once you have a client acquisition model, your second that you want to master on is the skills. Okay. The presentation skills, the closing skills, the phone appointment skills, that type of the skill, your communication channel. And then once you have the 2 mastered, the third part is the last, and should be the last, which is going to be the product knowledge. This is where we can help you on it, and you can have we can have your back on the support from the immediate upline to the next upline to the whole department of FFL AMS. Okay. But a lot of clients, a lot of agents, they get too focused on the product knowledge with the third part. They know anything and everything, but they don't have anybody to get in front of. Doesn't solve anything. So that's why we want to try to simplify it, where we will have all the knowledge and the resources available for you. Your job then is just get in front of a client that we can sell, that we can talk to, and we'll figure it out from there.
Okay. So how does the process work with the whole, I mean, supposing we're just brand new agents, like off the street, right? Just newly licensed and never had any experience with speaking in front of people. How is it that we're working this system here where it's like, okay, I've got like 2 people who are interested and I need to speak to them. I haven't done it before. Are we doing like a 3-way Zoom? So that way I'm with someone who's more experienced and I can watch it? Or are we doing some pre-planning where it's like, here's your rehearsal, here's the script, learn this, and then get with your upline or whatever, practice, let us see it. We'll give you a couple of tweaks that need to happen, and then go forth and do great things. How do you normally work it?
So this is where it's a little tricky with us. We do have a system, we have a script and all that, but our script is more entailed to the lead system. where depending on the lead type that we have two primary leads that we like to use. One is for mortgage protection, one is for final expense. Okay. So we call the IUL side an advanced market side. Okay. So it's the variable, because it's not a cut and dry where, okay, here's the whole life final expense to take care of your burial. Here's a term with a return of premium for your mortgage. On a advanced market, we come into a scenario where, okay, the client wants it for the kid. The client could be a self-employed that wants a retirement income. So in those scenarios, it's a little bit less scripted. You got to do first, what we like to have is the intake sheet of what the client's purpose would be. Okay. Death benefit planning, mortgage, retirement planning, how long they want to fund it, what they're comfortable paying. All those scenarios we'll be able to come back with. But as far as script and introduction, it'll be up to you. It'll be up to you and how you're already associated with them. Is this a cold market lead, or this is a close friend of yours? If it's already like a warm market, then yeah, just have the conversation and set up an appointment. Okay. Let's do a pre-screen in a sense. All right. Let's see what I could do. It'll take 5 minutes. I'll get some information out of you. I'll bring it back to my table, my group, and my team. You know how I'm new to this, but I got a lot of experienced individuals that'll help me out and create the best solution for you. And then we'll set up another appointment for that. Something fluid, nothing, I wouldn't say too scripted, but more, a little bit of at least a structure for them, right?
Right. Okay. I mean, the email that you all sent about the next steps that need to happen, I love that email. I mean, I love when you lay out, the path of what needs to happen. It eliminates all the questions, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
So now then I'm thinking is, okay, so now I get a person based on a lead purchase.
Okay.
And so when I start thinking about that, it's like, when I'm at that point, how long does it take once we've been already appointed with carriers and say, in this case, purchasing a few leads? What's the process? How long is the process from there until the time that we can actually write this policy and start looking at some income being generated?
Okay, great question. So the question is, if I have an agent number, how fast can I make money? Correct?
Your version is a lot better. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 to 3 days. Yeah, so we specialize with FFL with the carriers that we have, especially Americo, Prosperity, Mutual of Omaha. AIG takes about a week, but our simplified issue carriers that we sell, you'll be able to. Some people are doing Mondays dial days today, but we're having a kickoff January 2nd. Next week, we're going to have a kickoff of everyone here doing dials. They're going to be tuned in. They're going to be in our elite dials. You're going to see people make dials for either booking an appointment or closing them on the spot. So our skill, remember the 1, 2, 3, the skill communication channel, you can play it by your way. Okay. So you have 3 options. You can see the client in person. You can see the client in the Zoom, or you can sell them on the spot on a phone call. Okay. So either way, so people on Mondays, what they typically will do is they'll make calls for either booking an appointment with them, or they do a live sale on the spot. Okay, so simple script. Hey, Sandy, I'm calling you about the insurance request you did online. Were you looking for insurance on you or someone else? Oh, it's for you. Okay, great. So my job, I'm the field underwriter. My role, I represent 30 different insurance companies. I'm there to shop around for you to find you the lowest rates with the most coverage. Okay, so I'm just going to ask a couple of questions about you and your age, your health, your financial information. That's enough criteria for me to give you a policy quote, but it's just a quote. We got to apply for coverage to get you approved. Okay. The approval, how it works, they run your social. We don't need a physical exam, no blood, no urine. They'll find out based on your social attached to your prescription history to give you an approval on the spot. It takes me about 10 minutes. Okay. Then we submit a proof of coverage. Boom, you're done. You have a policy. Okay, they take out the premium. Ask the client, you're set, your day 1 coverage. Ask the agent, if I sold you on a Monday, you get a policy that same time within 20, 30 minutes. Next day, Tuesday, we're going to get an agent statement specifically from Americo. Americo will issue you an agent statement. Wednesday, 5 a.m., it hits your bank account, your commission. So turnaround time is 2 days. Now, yes.
Okay. Okay.
Now, if you do an IUL, certain policies, so it's in insurance, there's a simplified issue underwriting and there's a fully underwritten underwriting. Simplified is what I just mentioned. They run your social, they approve you on the spot. Black and white, typically just one price. Okay. When it comes down to fully underwritten, certain term policies required, big term policies required, and most IUL policies required, except the two that I mentioned with FNG and NLG having limitations on it. If it's under $1 million, under 2 million, they can do it without a physical. The issue with a physical exam, if I sold you today on a Monday, now either the company or me as the agent will need to set up a nurse to come out to draw your blood. The company will also request what's called an APS, attending physician statement, where they ask for your doctor records to be released to the company for an underwriter to review those things. So those two factors can differentiate a time of turnaround of 2 weeks to 3 months. Okay. So, because they need the doctor records and they need the lab records. Once they have both of those, the underwriter makes the decision, and then they typically will give an answer on a standard, standard plus, preferred, preferred plus. Other insurance companies have different names for it: standard, preferred, premier, elite. It's just category ratings of being healthier, right? So now you'll have to fall in that category. Once you fall into that category, underwriter tells the insurance from the insurance company to the agent saying, hey, your client got approved for a standard rate. Now we need an illustration for that standard rate, because what you could have quoted them, you could have illustrated preferred plus, and that changes the rates and the prices on that policy. So now,
which is why we quote them at standard.
Typically, yeah. But some agents, they try to quote the cheapest rates, and then it flips back on them. And then next thing you know, you quoted $100, now it's $300 because they fell to the standard when you quoted it like the preferred plus, right?
Right,
and I because they thought it was cheap.
Right, right. Because it's better when you're when they're excited that you were wrong in a good way.
Yes, you want to under promise and over deliver.
Okay.
That's how we want to do it. Not over promise and under deliver.
Yeah, I almost equated that to getting a Tesla, but okay, yes.
Right.
So what is the price range we're really looking at for the quality of the levels of leads?
So there's a lot. That's why there's 14 to 15 vendors that we have. The quality depends on what type of lead that they're getting, and also what type of vendor is marketing to, and then also the age time that lead came around. Okay, so there's a store. So we have our CRM, FFL CRM. Once you created your HTMS, you'll have access to it. They have age leads. They can range from like $1.50 to $3. Age means it's from 3 months plus. There's fresh leads. They're like instant or internet leads within 1 month. That ranges between 15 days and under. That can range from $7, $9. YouTube leads can range from $15 to $25. Facebook leads can range from $20 to $25. Then there's also direct mailers. They cost more because now a mailing company has to mail everyone, and then whoever responds back, that's what they sell. There's two methods to it. They call it buy per lead. You only pay for the lead that comes in. They do the mailing. They take the cost and the loss of the rest that they mailed out and the stamps that didn't respond. And then there's another lead company. I use them. We pay for the mail, that what goes out, and whatever comes back comes back. So it's similar to like real estate. But if you have a 1% return or less than 1% return, if I spent $600 to send out mails for 1,000, if I only got 6, guess what? Those 6 leads are $100 each. If I got 20, then 20 divided by 600. All right. So instead of pay per lead, you're paying for the postage. Typically, the buy per lead on the final expense side, they range from like $33 to $37 per lead as a buy per lead. If you do a mortgage protection, they can range from $70 to $80 to $100 plus a lead. These are high quality clients because they're responding on a mailer. So,
wow.
From that sense, we always like to have a brand new agent learn from the ground up and learn from high volume first. You don't want to go on the highest quality type lead without the skill, because you're going to burn lead costs up the yin yang before you even got the percent, right? You want to get comfortable on it first, right?
Right.
The best ones would be to work on the free leads, your warm market, the people that they don't cost you anything. Okay. But use that commission, keep a little bit, expand on your business, invest back into your business. How can I take this commission and make more? Well, I got to get more clients. I either build more referrals from that referral, or I expand my distribution channels of finding quality type leads. So this is where we give you full access, full like transparency, but we give you the at the same token, that mind state of, we want you to be open and experimental, but not like scared to take the risk. You know what I mean? Because if you're
Good.
too scared to take the jump and the risk, it's already
Then
a
why are you doing
cost.
this, right?
Exactly. It's already a mind state of this is a cost instead of this is an investment.
So I have a question about the leads.
Sure.
Say, for example, me and Sandy live in the state of Virginia.
Okay.
I buy a lead. I buy a bunch of leads. At the same time, he's buying a bunch of leads. Those leads aren't the same leads that I'm buying, right?
It
Or
could
is-
be.
Oh, it could be.
Yes. So here's an example. I'm going to put you in a situation where I'm the client. I'm the client. I'm on my phone. Let's say I start looking for life insurance. I get flagged, and then I apply and I say, hey, contact me. In the marketing realm, I'm now a targeted audience.
Yeah.
Because I'm a targeted audience and I reply, I get retargeted over and over. Because
Yeah.
from the algorithms, they know
That you're looking for
you're
insurance.
looking.
Yeah. Or what you're looking for.
Yes. So I could respond to a lead that Joanne paid for, but I get retargeted and I respond again and I get targeted from a lead you paid for. Same client, but filled out 2 or 3 times. It could be the same lead.
That makes sense.
So that's why the cost dramatically goes down when it's called an aged lead, because they have been hit before. Fresh leads cost more, aged leads cost less, but sometimes it could be a situation where they didn't like the agent. There's fruit in aged leads, because aged leads, you just get high quantity, high volume, low cost of investment, but same type of clients. If you're talking to a client that's looking for life insurance, whether they started looking 6 months ago to now, if you had the opportunity and you sold them well, you get that opportunity. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, is there like a certain time to get good leads? Like you said that a lot of people do these calls on Mondays.
Yes.
Or like, is there a window that's ideal when, I guess,
So there's systems. Yes. There's little bit of systems into which type of leads you're buying, when they fill up, depends on your area. If you're using CRM leads, what typically sometimes what they'll do is they'll have lead discounts on our CRM, right? So if you are going to start early, for example, if you're in Virginia, I mean, you're on Eastern time, right?
Mhm.
You could buy a lead at 5 a.m. and then you could have first dibs. But if I'm here and I'm in Los Angeles, I'm buying VA leads if I want to, and I buy Virginia leads at 8 a.m. Who got it first? You did. So timing wise, I would recommend having leads ready and purchased before you start dialing. Whether you have aged leads or fresh leads, you got to have leads ready to buy. Don't clock in and then buy the leads. You might not have access.
What
But
does
in-
success look like with the leads purchase? Like, what's a good amount of leads we should start buying?
As many as you can grab. The higher, we call it at bats, your at bat percentages, the better. Because if you plan to make dials, right, and you're dialing leads, if you bought 20, how fast can you run through that? And you're supposed to dial all day. You can run through that. You're going to dial 20, you're going to probably speak to 1, right? If you dialed 100, you speak to 30, book 15, get the percent to 8, sell 4, you're in the good. Right? The higher the law of averages, law of large numbers will play a part for you. So this is where in the business you get to learn the lead system. You also get to learn what manufacturers the highest quality and highest intent. Okay, so if you have a targeted market, if you like to go and delve into IULs, you're not talking to like seniors on government assistance. They're not gonna have the money for that. You want to target working class.
Yeah.
Right? So think big on the people you want to deal with, but understand on the final expense, the mortgage protection market, we can sell them simplified issue. You can get paid in 2 to 3 days. But if you do IULs, that takes a long underwriting and you won't have a cash flow and an income flow that'll flow in right away. That's doable if you do if you're going to attack this part-time. You have a full-time position, you sell this on the side, works well. If you're going to attack the business full-time, you got to have income flow because you're expending on leads. You need immediate sales to get your commissions to buy more leads and pay your bills.
Exactly, exactly. And is there a system in place that when we start looking at purchasing some of these leads that we can say, okay, well, I'm looking more towards someone who's interested in IULs or that type of thing. Is that something we can put as a request?
Like,
Yeah,
is
so
there's like that.
What's that?
is there? Yes. Yeah, there's non-CRM leads that does that. Yeah.
Oh,
I'll send you guys. I'll text you guys some lead vendors for it. They're unproven. They're third parties. So that's the only thing. So it's kind of like it's a trial and error.
but they go through your company.
No. So
Oh, they
remember,
don't.
because we're independent, you as the agent can buy any lead and every lead that's available for you.
That's compliant.
That's compliant. Now, FFL vetted lead vendors are compliant. Okay, let me explain what TCPA compliant is. Do you know?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll know all the details.
TCPA compliance is that when you call a random number that they're not on the do not call list, they weren't just solicited on, they did respond on something. Some other lead companies and lead vendors, typically from like the Middle East, Pakistan, India, these people are just working there. They're telemarketers and they're selling their leads that they telemarket to you. The issue to that is they don't know the US rules, what TCPA compliance is, what FTC, what all these do not call lists means. They'll call anybody and everybody and sell you that lead. Well, there are people that purposely look to get targeted by that and then use the law and sue you. So then you'll get sued and you didn't know. They'll sue that company. They're in India. Who cares to them? Whatever. We're out of it. It's out of our hair. Next thing you know, you're getting sued. So
Oh,
there's third-party places. You just got to
so
make sure you do the research and trial by error on that, because if you work with them, there's some issues. We've had some agents, man, they didn't know. They got targeted off of Facebook. They said, hey, we'll sell you some leads, try some out, check them out. They had some good deals out of it, but come to find out, they weren't even alive. They were not alive. So what happened is this vendor, I guess, sold them some leads. They called the leads, but it was another person on the other back office saying, hey, this is John. And then they sold them that lead. And then, it was like scams, fake socials and stuff. Sold the sale, fake bank accounts. And then, boom, they got terminated by the carrier, flipped on them. Crazy, sued. Crazy. But see, these are non-vetted leads.
okay.
Alex.
So right now, if we stick with the leads coming from your organization, they can be pretty much anything. We just know that they expressed interest in life insurance.
Correct. And some have expressed, some didn't, some forgot. Those are the type of situations you'll run into leads, and that's where the skill will come in, where you're able to entice them for a presentation or appointment. Some people will say and lie about that. You fill it out, you say, no, I didn't, because they weren't prepared for the phone call. Right? It's kind of like when you're shopping for a car, right? You're calling every car company. They start telling you, come on in. And you're like, oh, well, no, I'm not ready. I didn't fill it out. I'm calling for a friend.
It's like, but you're standing in my showroom.
Right.
Literally.
So that's where the skill comes in. There's people that are expressing the interest, but will not express to you that they're expressing the interest.
Okay.
So that's where you can read between the lines and stuff. So we're out of time. We're going to continue to wrap. So January 2nd, I invite you guys. It's joinelitedials.com. That's where we're going to have our dials and our calls. And then we'll continue to have the conversation. Talk to Antonio. I'll send you guys my number. Alex also had that same, what do you call it? Questions about the lead vendors.
Yeah. Alex mentioned he had been doing pretty successful
with
the selling IULs, I think, this year.
Yeah, which Alex?
Scribner. I'm out of St. Louis.
Oh, okay. Which lead vendor are you using?
Warm Market.
Okay. Typically,
everything's Warm Market with my IUL so far through Transamerica.
Nice. Yeah. Typically, IULs, advanced market sales is going to be either through Warm Market or your own created social media influence.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to really find a cold lead to say, yeah, John, let me give you $300, $500 a month. Because that type of sale, it starts with a little bit of education first, and then presentation, and then the sale. The type of leads that we like to buy, the simplified issue, it's like a one call close. These types are typically 2 or more.
Yeah, my from start to finish with payout on commissions is around 3 to 4 weeks.
That's not bad. That's fast.
So yeah,
Yeah.
Transamerica
Are you-
moves whenever they want to move, but they're pretty slow sometimes too.
Yeah. So Transamerica, why Transamerica for you?
So I actually just came over. Pierce Krieger is my upline.
Nice.
Him and I were police officers for a couple years. I worked with him. So we started out with, and then I got out of there real quick.
Like,
over
didn't we
here in
all?
St.
I got
Louis.
out of there real quick after 10
I
years.
I lasted 4 weeks, and then I was looking around saying, "What the heck am I doing here?" And I left. So I went
Glad
out on
you're
my
here.
own through it. Yeah, I went out on my own through a thing, and Krieger got out of it, and he got back in with FFL. I watched like every podcast with the FFL USA. So
Yes.
now I finished those. Now I'm watching all the elite ones. So
Nice.
fast forward, I got an offer over here local from a guy, a financial group, and they are strictly Transamerica. They're still independent, but we contract through other things, and it's just getting stale over there now too. So I've always learned about FFL, was reading about them, always been interested in them, just never had like someone close to me get with them to,
Yeah.
to really get a good idea of
Yeah.
it. So I'm excited.
Already
I'm really excited. IULs is where I'm excelling. Like I said, since September in commissions, I'm around 37,000. Hoping these last 2 place before the end of the year. We'll see. It'll be
Let's
my best
go.
month yet.
Crossing our
I'll
fingers for
clear
you.
about
Let's go.
18. So yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. So
Good
within
job.
the industry,
Thank you. Thank you.
FNG, NLG, Global Atlantic, these are some good companies. North American, but there are issues with their office. So yeah, FFL AMS, fflams.com. Create an account. You can start doing Ask a Specialist, and then you can ask. We have a director, an IUL director for FFL. You can have a conversation. You can have a phone call with them.
Yeah.
text,
I need my
email, they'll
Athene
send you illustrations.
password and stuff. I try
gotta
to give
get
my
Athene.
AMS. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll need that.
Yeah.
So-
So
Okay.
if you don't have that yet, go on info@fflams.com. You can email them and tell them, hey, I'm brand new. I'm getting on. I've been doing IUL, so they'll get you set up.
Cool. All right. I'll do that today. Thank you
All
guys.
right, guys.
Bye, you guys.
All right. So
Happy
Monday,
holidays.
Take care.
Monday. Yeah, we'll be on at 8, January 2nd.
sounds good. Take care and thank you all so much. I appreciate
All right,
it.
guys. Have a good one.
All right, thank
Bye.
you.
Bye, you guys.